Hey there, business boss. So you just typed in the question, how to write an effective standard operating procedure. I'm sorry. This means that you are not having your best, most fun, most exciting day ever. In today's video, we are going to break down how the process works. I'm going to walk you through it. And so by the end of this video, you're going to feel really confident in how you can write those standard operating procedures so your team can get more stuff done. I'm Amy Walker, and I don't love processes because I love processes themselves. I love processes because they create freedom. So stick with me today. I'm going to share with you the one thing that I think most companies are missing in their standard operating procedures that allows quality to be subpar. But you're going to want to watch all of it in order to get the full effect. So I don't know about you, but when I think of standard operating procedures, I think of this big long binder, like massive binder that's going to take me forever to write, and then I worry that nobody's ever going to even use it, and then I'll forget to update it, and then it will be out of date and I will have wasted all of that time. I don't have one of those binders for my company, but what I do have is I have a lot of written out processes and standard operating procedures in a more usable format, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. All right, we got to start at the very basics, which is what is a standard operating procedure? This is simply documenting the way that something happens over and over and over again so that it's duplicatable and the quality stays high. A lot of times what happens as a business owner or a manager even is a lot of what we do is kind of intuitive for us. Like we hold a process inside of our head. And because we hold the process inside of our head, when we go to train someone else to do it, they can never seem to do it the way that we do it, and they miss steps and they forget things, and it's just not as good. So then the inexperienced business owner is like, fine, I'll just do it myself. And then we take these tasks back on, and before we know it, we are once again bogged down in too many tasks. Be honest, have you ever done that where you delegated something out and before you know it, you're just frustrated that they're not doing a good job, so now you're doing it again? If so, go ahead and type in the comments, been there. Number one, we are going to start with one process at a time. And start with the one that's the first thing you want to get off of your plate. Start there. If you try to create multiple processes at a time, you're going to get bogged down into project mode. And when you're in project mode, you're not as productive in your business. And so you tend to put that task off for a long time. But if you just need to build one, it's really not a big deal. If you're with me on this, go ahead and push the like button and let me know that this is helpful. Now, as you've decided which process to do, I want to help you understand the way that we build competence. So it goes in 4 different layers. The first is we start out unconsciously incompetent. We don't know how to do something, and we're not even aware of the fact that we don't know how to do it. We're just completely unaware. Then we go to consciously incompetent, where now I'm aware I don't know how to do this thing, but I at least know that I don't know how to do it. Then we go to consciously competent. This means I can do the task as long as I'm thinking about it and paying attention. And then the 4th level is unconsciously competent. I can do it with my eyes closed. The challenge when you go to create standard operating procedures is that you are unconsciously competent and you are training somebody who is consciously incompetent. So there's a big gap between the two, and you tend to leave out important details. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write down exactly what you do. Write down the process from start to finish. For example, I have a new social media assistant that I'm bringing on board. So I want them to take my YouTube videos, and first step is I want them to transcribe the video. Second step is I want them to break out the specific tips within the video, and then I want them to write 4 to 5 different content pieces. Now I'm going to write that down, and then I'm going to go back through and I'm going to see, what did I miss? Okay, so there's definitely some things in here. For example, are they writing in my style or not? I never have to think about how I write, and so I would forget to transfer that over for another person. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look at how we can build a process around it. And I'm gonna actually show you the most recent process that I built. I am getting ready to hire a new marketing assistant for my author business. I never seem to have enough time to do the marketing that I want to do for my book, so it's clearly time to get some help in here. But if I look at the podcast tab, what they're going to do here is they're going to research and find the podcast. They're going to put in the contact emails, and then they're going to put in when they sent the pitch, what is the booked date, and then what is the info that they send, the bio, the headshot, the ebook, and the Amazon link. And then they also have a tab in here to say when we promoted the podcast on our social media. So this, along with this process, it would also have an assets folder accompanying it. So if we look at the next one, here we have, this is to find book chalk or bookstagrammers. So they're gonna look for the names of the people, what their handles are, which platform they're on, so they can pick. When we send the reach out, when we send the follow-up, did they say yes or no? If they said yes, did we send the ebook and the social links? Did their promo go out? What were the engagement numbers? Did we send a thank you? And then do we want to work with them again? That's going to be based on the engagement numbers. So again, I'll go through and I'll now create the assets folder. So the process that I just showed you, it didn't have any automation in it. And that's because there really are things that just have to be kind of a process followed, and it just requires time. But there are processes in my business that do have automation built in, and I'm always looking for that opportunity. So my sales process is a really good example. Like when we try to call somebody and they're not there, we send them a missed call email. Well, guess what? We can automate that so that as soon as we say, person wasn't there, it can send that email and we don't have to spend time typing it in every single time. Now, a lot of times business owners are hesitant to do too much automation because they don't want to lose the personal touch. Automation should never replace personal care. It should enhance personal care. This is a really important distinction to understand. If you're trying to replace human connection by automation, you're missing the whole purpose. What you're really trying to do is make it so you can have more human connection with a higher volume of people, because you're automating parts of it that are going to facilitate you getting to the point where you get to have great human interaction and connection. Now, I told you I would tell you the part that most people miss, and this is what like drags down the quality. Most people don't go back and set the standards. You have to set the standards and tell people what constitutes a good job. So what constitutes a good social media post? What constitutes fulfilling getting me booked for podcasts for my author biz? And if you do not define the quality, guess who defines it? Your team members. And it's not even usually your best team members. It's usually the lower tier team members that set the standard for what's acceptable because you put up with it. So if you want quality to be going up, which I think you do, I mean, you don't really search how to write standard operating procedures for fun, right? It's like you want quality going up. Do not forget to set the standards. This one's really, really important. Now, the last step is also really important, which is to uphold the standards and the procedure and revisit it time and time again. I'm guilty. I am so guilty of creating a beautiful process and training people on it and then forgetting to actually come back and ask if they're using it, and then that beautiful process just kind of falls by the wayside. And I'm not saying it didn't do some good, but it would have been so much better had I created it and followed up on it and used that as a common conversation that this is just the way that we do it. You have to integrate the processes into your work, otherwise the processes get totally forgotten. So how are you going to check in? How are you going to make sure that it's being used and make sure that it's actually working? Last thing that I will say on this subject is that you shouldn't be so rigid in your processes that there's not room for innovation and doing a better job. Some of my best processes in my business, I gave team members an initial process and I told them, learn it, use it, and then if you can find a way to do it better, let me know. I'm here to innovate. I want the best idea to win, no matter if it comes from me or if it comes from someone else. And they will do exactly that. And all of a sudden, our processes get even better. And that way you have your team kind of creating these evolving processes so they don't all have to come from you. Now you've got the thrilling answer to how to write an effective standard operating procedure. The next video I want you to watch is going to seem funny, but it's actually how to fire an employee gracefully, Because as you start to create standards and uphold standards, you will find that you have some people on your team who are not willing to work at the standard level that you want them to. And then you'll find that you have other people who rise to the occasion. So firing people, not the most fun part of leadership, but it is something that you really do need to have that confidence and be able to let people go in a really graceful and kind way. I'm Amy Walker. Thanks for watching Like a Boss.